Alright, it's officially arrived. Everyone knows this topic would eventually be touched on my channel. It simply gets commented on too much in my comment sections. I've seen some wild ass claims about this character. I've seen people in my comments saying this is the most powerful character I will ever read in fiction. He's so broken, so beyond logic, so OP, solos all the comics. I've heard wild ass claims about the infamous Milkman Man. Are any of these true? Hell no. But he is pretty strong. We're going to talk about what happens in his story, where he measures up, like how strong he should be, what we know given on the brief appearance of him, and overall, is he really as strong as people make him out to be? Is he weaker than people make him out to be? What is he? I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to help you guys figure that out. You can come up to your own opinion if you want. I'm just going to present to you what happens in the story leading up to this in the presentation of the infamous, rare, powerful Milkman Man. If you like content like this, please make sure to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, all that. If you want me to investigate another notorious, powerful character with like a cult-like following like this one does, comment down below who I should look into. But let's go ahead and begin and review the Justice League Doom Patrol story that this sprouts from. So first off, the story is being told starting off from Final Heaven, and this is of course being told from Retcon. Retcon is a company looking to sell the mainline universe or Earth Prime of DC Comics, which would be the standard main continuity multiverse. They're trying to sell all that, right? And they're selling it to Manga Khan, who's an extra dimensional purchaser. And what's happening, I'm going to explain a bit, is basically they're looking for the best way to sell DC Prime Earth and its reality, and the best way to shape it to look best for sale. So Retcon can change the entirety of mainline DC stories, at least to a certain extent. Then this, of course, crosses over to us seeing the character of the hour, the one we're talking about, Milkman Man. He serves milk in Happy Harbor, Rhode Island. Have you ever heard of the place? Nope. Will you ever care about it? Nope. But you're going to care about it today because it matters, because this is where a lot of the story takes place. Also, one of the funniest characters in the story, just because you'll know why I like him. Carl Lobo is presented, and he is the head of Neighborhood Watch. He ragdolls a member of the Doom Patrol who have showed up looking for a rocket of Retcon. They're trying to stop Retcon, who's messing with their stories and narratives. The God of Ideas descended from the Final Heaven, as the ideas of justice on Earth Prime, or the reality of mainline Earth in DC, are inspired by these ideas. Their milk, the Retcon Corps' milk, can alter Prime Earth in the universe based on what their Trinity wants it to be. The Trinity is a trio of timeless ideas, and if you can't guess what the Trinity is, it is extrapolated on later in this story, but I'll tell you right now, it should be obvious for anyone that reads DC Comics. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Iconic, timeless figures. Milkman Man is then accused of accidentally protecting the Retcon Corps that is manipulating the lives or stories of the comic characters from mainline DC. And this is why the Doom Patrol is there trying to stop all this, and they realize Milkman Man is accidentally the one helping them by giving people all the milk and keeping the, like, it's not devolving DC universe, but it's definitely like reshaping it and watering it down in a way they don't want to happen. And Milkman is selling this milk that's doing it, so he's the one amping it and making it happen. We then find out that Milkman Man is a weaponized version of the story of mainline Superman, descended from the god of all superheroes named All, and injected with Retcon's narrative. So they couldn't change the story of Superman, so they copied it, and then they injected it with their own narrative, and that's Milkman Man. This is a lot similar to when the Monitors took the story of Superman, condensed it into an armor, and called it the Thought Robot, and as we famously call it, Cosmic Armor Superman. Very similar to that. This literally, however, isn't Superman. It's a copy of his story. They specifically said Retcon Corps can't change the narrative. They can only copy it. So they copied his narrative, and, you know, the classic coming down to Earth from Krypton, all that. And they infused it with their own narrative so he could fight their battle for them. This is when Milkman realizes he's just a copy of the story of mainline Superman, and he's used to keep people in line by drinking the milk that controls the narratives of the normal comic characters. This, at this point, makes him freak out, and this is a pretty impressive feat. He then dips, and no one could really fathom his speed at that point when he dipped out the way. And these characters obviously are dealing with powers that can destroy narratives. So this is very impressive that, you know, his sheer speed was like unfathomable to them. The milk is used to make DC Comics Prime reality easier to sell in the future. As retcon works for beings that are beyond conception, these are known as the Enormous, or like universe-consuming beings who watch the universe for their own entertainment. They watch mainline universe, and they'll destroy it if they're not entertained. And the Retcon Corps is constantly trying to convince the Doom Patrol in this story, and in other stories, that like they're not real, that they don't have power as comic characters, and the Doom Patrol is trying to stop them. So, where does this, now that we got the story out the way, right? Where does this line up Milkman Man's power? How strong should he be? What value does he have in the grand scheme of things? We've covered the story. Let's break down how it relates to the rest of things and where that should leave us, okay? So, beyond existence or reality of Earth Prime is where things are deleted like memory. This is where Retcon is in Final Heaven. Now, the wild-ass claims about Milkman Man typically revolve, or have to, around Final Heaven, like scaling above everything. It simply doesn't. That's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Excuse my language, but like, good lord. To be in a place beyond the normal existence of Earth Prime or main universe is similar to Limbo Tier in DC, where literally it's beyond the physical, beyond existence, to where narratives are deleted like memory. That's like literally how Final Heaven in the process was described as well. So those tiers should be similar. It shouldn't be anything crazy. It's like literally where they go to be erased. So this would be, at that point, Retcon would be like Limbo Plus tier. They also state to exist on the outer ring of existence that surrounds existence, and that the Retcon Corps themselves came from crystals that manipulate realities and hyper-realities. This is important because supposedly for a core that's supposed to be so strong, I mean, they literally are the ones that created Milkman Man, they're really described like the primal forces that form from crystals, like the monitors in Cosmic Armor Superman's story. So it's not that crazy to me. It really isn't. Then we see that Swamp Thing has broken into Retcon before and styled on them. Are we about to say Swamp Thing's the most broken character in fiction ever? We have to push that narrative now, because y'all were telling me Milkman Man's the most powerful character in comics. Well, guess he's not above Swamp Thing anymore, because Swamp Thing slaughtered members of the people that brought forth Milkman Man, that serve beings Milkman Man can't even perceive, that are apparently reading DC mainline universe. Creation, or the multiverse itself, has been noted as resetting within Final Heaven. So yeah, it's just like mainline universe, or the mainline multiverse is what it scales over. So it'd be like Limbo Tier. That's it. That's not that crazy. Cass' story also shows something similar to the Milk thing, right? The Milk contains DC Universe Prime. Creation in the Cass story holds it in a jar. Like the same thing. So this is like maybe Limbo plus the Monitor level. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Definitely not the strongest thing we've ever seen. And since Retcon controls Milkman Man, like I said, Swamp Thing showed up to Retcon Corps because they were killing some of the green, and they were, I believe, kidnapping dreamers and holding them against their will. And the subconscious of the dreamers reached out to Swamp Thing, showed up there, and started, he like just ripped one of the Retcon people apart casually. They're not that strong. Overall, who is Milkman Man? He is a copy of the story of mainline DC's Superman, who is a direct descendant of the god of superheroes all. He follows that archetype, which is why, since he's the direct descendant, that's why his narrative's so strong. Retcon Corps couldn't even do anything to the narrative, and like Mandrak could actually like damage Cass and supposedly the narrative. So like they can't even do anything to the narrative. They can just try to copy it and inject their own narrative into the copy. That's all they could do. So he's a copy of the story of mainline Superman, and he doesn't really do anything. So he's not as strong as people think, not as broken as I was told to be. Milkman Man's definitely not the strongest character in fiction. We were sold a lie by the community. If Milkman Man is the most OP character ever, then I guess Swamp Thing is too, because he killed the people that created your boy Milkman Man, who can't even perceive the people watching mainline DC Universe. So he shouldn't even scale to Cass. Cass at least can see the damn readers and talk to them and tell them, hey, I see y'all, I perceive y'all, I'm trying to reach y'all. Milkman Man doesn't even do that. Those people can't even perceive the damn... Like, he saw the story of Superman and it, like, overwhelmed him. They're just... It's not that impressive. Y'all were sold a lie. I'm glad you guys could watch this, but make your own decision. If you see all this evidence, if you read the story, you see all this, you know all this, and you still think Milkman Man's the most broken character ever, by all means, let me know in the comment section down below. But if you don't, let me know as well. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy YFV. And if you like videos like this, make sure to let me know and show some love, and I will see y'all later. Peace.